Welcome to our few minutes together on the Parsha. It's after Sukkot, and we've finished the Zos HaBrocha on Simchas Torah, and we have the privilege this Shabbos of once again beginning anew an entire year's worth of reading of the Torah that defines Klal Yisrael and that tells us who we are. The purpose of Bereshis is clearly not for the purpose of giving us laws, as Rashi himself comments at the very beginning, because there really are no major laws that are given to Klal Yisrael. There is a mention of the responsibility to be fruitful and have children. There is a mention of the responsibility for Bris Milah, which was given to Avraham Avinu later on. But the body of laws of the Jewish people, the 613 mitzvahs, are not mentioned in Bereshis. And in fact, the Medrash says that the purpose of Bereshis is to teach us Derech Eretz Kodma La Torah. Because before Hashem gave us any of the laws, He gave us the way to deal in humanity, the way to relate one to the other, and the way we should relate to Hashem Himself. Because the purpose of Bereshis is to develop a Torah hashkafa, a Torah outlook, an outlook on life that will carry through to our enabling to do the laws. If we have the proper hashkafa, then we will keep the Torah's laws. We'll follow them to the nth degree, because we recognize that Hashem gave it to us for the purpose of the betterment of all mankind. In order to get that Torah hashkafa, we have to firmly have a sense of emunah, of faith. And that emunah comes from the very first sentence in the Torah. The most important piece of information any of us needs is the first three words of the Torah. Bereshis bara Elokim. In the beginning, Hashem created the world. That piece of information, as the great rabbis of yore have pointed out, is the most important piece of information any Jew needs. We need to know that Hashem created the world. That's why the Rambam begins his magnum opus of the Mishnah Torah with the concept of the most important piece of information is the knowledge of God. And that's why we say Reshis Chochma Yiras Hashem Seichel Tov L'chol Oseihem. The beginning of all wisdom is the knowledge of God, and it's encapsulated in the first three words of Bereshis. We should know that because that's the most important piece of information and the most truthful piece of information on earth, there is therefore going to be the greatest amount of opposition to that piece of information, because it's so obviously true that God created the world that in order for there to be an emunah quotient, in order for us to have a sense of belief and faith, you need to have tremendous opposition to that idea in order to put it in a free-willed category of faith and belief. And so there is a tremendous amount of opposition in the world for atheism, for agnosticism, and for denying the truth of Hashem. It's interesting to note that the Darshei V'Shumos, as others do, notice that in the very first three words of the Torah, we find the word emes. Bereshis ends with a taf, Borough ends with an aleph, and Elokim ends with a mem. And these three letters, aleph, mem, taf, spell emes. And that's why we say Rosh Devarcha emes. The beginning of your words are truth. Not only is it hinted to by the last letters of the first three words, but there's an interesting medrash. Why did the Torah begin with the letter Beis? Why not aleph? So we're used to the idea that, of course, it teaches us that we don't even know the beginning of the Torah. There's no end to Torah because there's no beginning. It's a constant cycle of beginning with Bereshis and ending with Kol Yisrael of Zos HaBrocha. There's an everlasting cycle. So it begins with Beis. The first letter of the oral law is Masechta Brachos Me'ei Masai, Koren Shema Ba'arvin. When do we begin to say the Shema at night? Of course, those two letters, Beis and Mem, spell the word Bum, as we say in the Shema, V'dibarta Bum, Torah Shebeksav and Torah Shebal Peh. But there's more. If you start with the letter Beis and you count every 3 letters, so you're going to have Beis and Gimel and Dalet. Let's do the numerical value. This is only a hint. This is not the basis, but it's something to think about. The Beis, the Gimel, and the Dalet is 2 and 3, which is 5, and 4 is 9. Okay, 9. Let's go to the next 3 letters. Hey, Vav, and Zayin. That is a 5, a 6, and a 7 equals 18. 18 is a 1 and an 8. 8 and 1 is 9. And go through the entire Aleph Beis that way, beginning with the letter Beis, and you're going to end up with the number 9. Interesting. Wait a minute. Let's take a look. The word emes. Aleph is 1. Mem is 40. Tuf is 400. But you take the numerical value without the zeros, and what have you got? Emes equals 9. Aleph is 1. Mem is 440. And Tuf is 400. 4. So you have 9. You go through the entire Aleph Beis, you're going to have emes. However, if you start with Aleph, Beis, Gimel, every 3 letters, an Aleph is 1, and a Beis is 2, and a Gimel is 3, that gives you a total of 6. Watch this. Go to the next 3 letters. Dalet, Hey, and Vav. The Dalet is 4, the Hey is 5, and the Vav is 6. It's a total of 15. 5 and 1 is 6. Let's go to the word sheker. Shin, Kuf, and Reish. Shin is 300. Kuf is 100. Reish is 200. 3 and 1 is 4. And 2 is 6. Sheker is 6. Beis is emes. Aleph would lead to sheker. And the Torah is a Torah's emes. It's true. There's more to this. Emes is the first, the last, and the middle letter of the Aleph Beis. And notice that each of those letters have a solid base. The Aleph has 2 legs. The Mem has a base. The Tuf has 2 legs. It stands on its own, no matter how you spread it from the beginning through to the end. Sheker? Oh, please, it can't stand at all. The Shin is going to wobble right over because it comes to a point. The Kuf is going to wobble over because it's imbalanced, and the Reish will turn right over. Sheker doesn't last. Well, the emes, no matter how you spread it, is true. Isn't this interesting? Now, this is only a hint. This is only Parpa Ra'os LaTorah. It's only a little bit of a game, which shows us the beauty of the hidden secrets of the Torah, which is the emes. And the hashkafa we need when we approach Parshas Bereshis is that this is our Torah of truth. As we say in the Brich Shmei when we take out the Torah, to who Eloah kshot. He's a God of truth, for Orai's sake kshot. And his Torah is truth. Unavi ohi kshot. And his prophets are true. And all the prophecies of the past came true. And the prophecies of the future, of the redemption of Klal Yisrael, is also going to come true. Have a wonderful Shabbos.